Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Carolyn. We are here today with the Capricorn Rising video. If you, in your natal chart, we're talking about natal astrology, which I love. It's my favorite thing ever. Capricorn Risings. Ooh, Capricorn Ascendant. That is a very strong placement to have. It is very rigid and firm. It will be dominant in your life. The Saturn themes will be dominant in your life no matter what is going on. And Saturn is not all bad. Saturn is discipline, ambition, leadership. It can be used for good, but it can also be squandered if you prioritize, leisure over work for the most part. So it really does demand a hard worker of the native for sure. And they are naturally, but you're definitely going to want to see where Saturn is in the natal chart, because as a Capricorn rising, Saturn is your ruling planet. If you're Capricorn rising, your Saturn return is going to be even doubly powerful. That's why these people can climb to such great heights. But it does take a lot of psychological strength in order to combat the natural pessimism that can bloom with a Cap moon or Cap rising or Saturn conjunct the rising, Saturn conjunct the sun, Saturn conjunct any planet, Saturn on an angle, or if you're Cap rising, which makes Saturn your ruling planet, you cannot escape Saturn's lessons. Your whole life is pretty much a Saturn return. But that's not a bad thing. That's actually a talent and a strength that you must embrace and develop, because there's literally no escaping it. Saturn is a long-term planet. It has a long lesson to teach you that is a cycle, so it never really ends. As each cycle goes, you learn a bit more. And as I've said before, how do we learn most? For me, at least, I can say, if I fail or if I make a big mistake, that's how I learn the most. I'm like, okay, I'm never going to let that happen again. Oh, wow, that really sucked, but at least now I know moving forward. Which, it's not great. Obviously, you'd like to be able to avoid that big mistake or that big failure to begin with, but we're humans and this is life, and you have to take it as it comes. You have to be realistic and take reality at face value, especially if you're Capricorn rising, because they're very realistic. They're an earth sign. That is. Very earthy. They tend to have very strong cheekbones and just a very sturdy, well-postured bone structure. Very classic looking people, usually understated. They might come off shyer than they actually are if you're friends with them. Or it could be just the opposite. Even though the goal and the best expression for Capricorn and Capricorn risings is to focus a lot on work, still make time for play, but definitely be disciplined and focused on your goals and your ambitions and making that happen and climbing that mountain just like the mountain goat that you are. There are a lot of Capricorns that go the other way, where they're just lazy and they don't relate to that description of Capricorn at all. They just tend to be like a defeatist almost about how not Capricorn in that sense they are. They aren't, disciplined. They aren't responsible. Responsible is another big word. And that can also have a lot to do with the specific placements in your natal chart. But when we're just looking at Capricorn, the sign, across different placements, I've noticed, because that's one of the great things about having a YouTube channel is, and especially now that I've gotten over 5,000 subscribers, which, yay, that's awesome. I do get a lot of comments and people sharing their experience, which is what I ask for at the end of every single video, because it's such an awesome opportunity to really research and hear it from the horse's mouth. But you also notice a lot of patterns and whatnot. In general, Cap risings, they're actually a lot funnier than you might think. They have a very dry, witty humor about them. They actually sometimes, even though they're classy per se, they can actually be very flashy and flamboyant sometimes. They have a funny, soft side that gets overlooked a lot, but they also have very high standards for themselves. And they shouldn't deny that, because you absolutely have the potential to meet and exceed the highest goals that you've set for yourself. So there's really no reason to shoot low. You should always shoot high as a Capricorn rising. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. Leave a comment if you are a Capricorn rising. I would love to hear what you think. Sorry if I'm a little bit sunburnt. I went to the beach on Memorial Day and I got toasted. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.
I will see you for Aquarius.